Hello and welcome to tonight's Druid sermon with Seer Vision. This is episode number 3. And on tonight's sermon, we'll be talking about the forms of paganism. Different forms of paganism. About Druidism, Wicca and Norse paganism. And we'll also be on about politics and the cult. Have we got a rift coming up? I should have muted that there and then just rifted, but sorry, I had to profanity in your ears there, sorry. Anyway, back to this. We'll also be talking about the 3 worlds. That's 3 dimensions. 3 worlds that we all live in. The upper, middle and lower. That's the 3 worlds of the eternal cosmos. And every world is a dimension. They're all dimensions, linked by the land of the dead, the tree of life. That's what shamanism is, Druidism, Norse paganism and Wiccanism. They're all similar beliefs. The gods have maybe different names, but the beliefs are similar. The Celts believe that gods go to war sometimes with other beings in the upper world. They have enemies. I've been made aware of this in shamanic journey, that the gods have enemies that sometimes they wage war with. They have enemies that try and overthrow them, corrupt them. It's a whole dimension as big as our cosmos, and the gods control most of it, but not all. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. I started shamanic journey the whole truth. I've not been able to go into shamanic journey for a while. I don't know if I'll be able to go in today, I'm not sure. I might try to go in. What time's it? It's 10 o'clock. No, it's going to be too bright. I never see anything. Let's wait an hour. See how long I talk for. I've got a recording lined up to play it. I don't know, it's 2 Seer Visions are melded into one recording. I've just called it Audio Seer Vision 3. It's on for 15 minutes. I don't know where they're from. I think they're from last year. Earlier on this year, I'm not sure. Play them anyway. Maybe I'll get a live version later on, I'm not sure. I might draw a blank, I'm not sure. I've not been in for a while. I've been intentionally staying out. We'll also be talking about the worlds, the 3 worlds, the upper, lower and middle. And we'll also be talking about politics and the cult. Politics and the cult are important. They're important to us all. It's about what is right for our families and our community. That means politics is important. So we must all consider and think about political matters and what our politicians are actually doing. Because the politicians lead this country and they lead us down a path, so we need to be aware of the path that those politicians are leading us down. We have to make sure it's the same path that we want to go down, or we need to get different politicians. We also have to be aware of the cult, what their agenda is. I've been waking these up to what their agenda is, depopulate and implant. That's what their agenda is. And they're getting the lackey politicians to carry out this agenda. They're psychopaths. Psychopaths to rich, really rich people. The Bilderbergers. The Bilderberg group. I just call them the burger team. The burger men. The Bilderbergers. They're evil. Really evil people. Try to dominate the whole world. Full spectrum dominance. 360 degree full spectrum dominance all over planet Earth. Us all contained and wrapped in a matrix. 500 million people living on planet Earth. 100,000 slaves. 100 to 500,000 slaves for the rich. The rich are going to have 4.9 million people. 100 million. 500 million in total. There's about 100,000 slaves. Do you really think you're part of the 100,000? How many rich people do you think there are on this planet? That's who the cult's fighting for. I'm fighting for the people. I'm not fighting alone. I've got people helping me out. There are people waking people up all over the world and in Britain. I'm concentrating on Britain, Europe. That's my dominance, my area of living. I live in Europe, so I must wake Europe up to the old ways, the old gods, Druidism, Gnosticism, and Wiccanism. It doesn't matter what you call the gods or what gods you believe in, it's your life story that's important. You can be a Norse pagan and vegetarian, go to Turnanog. You can be a Wiccan pagan and vegetarian, go to Turnanog. Or you can be a Druid pagan and vegetarian and go to Turnanog. As long as your life story is good. A good life story and a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet will take you to Turnanog. You have to at least be vegetarian. I'm a wee advocate there. A wee glass of shamanic drink. Vegetarian meal advocate, a wee snowball I'm having. Not that often I drink, just every now and then, once a fortnight, once a month. Different with plants, never a problem with plants, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the world's problems. What is the world's problems? Suffering. That's what the world's problems is. We're all suffering. Why are we suffering? And what do we suffer from? What causes suffering? Longing. It's basically as simple as that. It's based as that. Longing. Longing for our loved friends, products, friends, women, men, girlfriends, boyfriends, cars, houses, land, profit, cash, bank account, couple extra zeros in the bank account. We all suffer. It's self-inflicted. How do we stop this cycle of suffering? If the cult want us to keep on doing it. As long as we are suffering, we won't be concentrating on what is right, what is good for us, and what we have to do. We have to protest. We're at war. I'm at war. I'm at war with the government and the cult. I've been at war for 16 years. I was asleep before then, but I woke up. Now I'm waking everybody else up. It's my calling to be a Druid, a missionary Druid, waking the world up to paganism and the old ways, the old gods, the true gods. I don't care what name you give a god, as long as you believe in the mother goddess and her consort, as well as their children, their brothers, their sisters, and their cousins, and their friends. There's a whole race of gods up there, up in the other world. A whole race, looking after the cosmos, making sure we all behave ourselves, and rewarding the good people with the gift of enlightenment and immortality. And you keep your current personality for all time up in Turnanog, the other world. That would be fantastic to go there. Who wouldn't want to go there? Druidism. Let's go to Druidism. This is from Opod's website again, that's Order of Bards, Trovates and Druids. This is a wee blurb on the other world. Although Druids love nature and draw inspiration and spiritual nourishment from it, they also believe that the world we see is not the only one that exists. A cornerstone of Druid belief is the existence of the other world, a realm or realms which exist beyond the reach of the physical senses, but which nevertheless are real. And they are real. I have seen them. People that take shamanic plants have all seen them. And I'm a seer, and I've also taken shamanic plants, so I have seen them. I have seen the other world. The other world is seen as a place we travel to when we die, but we can also visit it during our lifetime in dreams, in meditation, under hypnosis, or in journey, or in a shamanic trance. That's what I do. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of my YouTube audience do. I upload psychedelic videos to YouTube, shamanic videos that people can take plants through and do their own shamanic journey. They're quite good and they're psychedelic and they're really good for psilocybin, and the music's really good for ayahuasca. And ayahuasca you have to close your eyes. I tend to keep my eyes open with psilocybin because the visuals are fantastic. I can't believe what the visuals are like in psilocybin, and the epiphanies you have, the thoughts you have, the racing thoughts that come to you from the spirit world, from the ether, from Arwen. It's intense, it's really enlightening, and it makes you focus on what's right. One of my own shamanic journeys on psilocybin made me focus on what was important at that time in my life, and that was friendship. If I got the true value of friendship, because I was getting annoyed with one of my friends at the time, because he was annoying me about trying to chop marijuana, and this was a long time ago, a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4, and I'm still on the plan, and now I've got to take his advice, right? Not chuck it, but calm it down. Calm it down to the weekends only, instead of 3 times a week, the end of weekends. 2 days off at a week's not good enough. I don't smoke that much, just a couple of joints a day, 3-4 joints a day. Got to figure it out, get off of this plan. Different Druids will have different views on the nature of this other world, but it is a universally held belief for 3 reasons. Firstly, all religions or spiritualities hold the view that another reality exists beyond the physical world, rather than agreeing with materialism that holds the only matter exists and is real. Secondly, Celtic mythology, which inspires so much of Druidism, is replete with descriptions of this other world. Thirdly, the existence of the other world is implicit in the greatest belief of the ancient Druids, since the classical writer stated that the Druids believed in the process that has been described as reincarnation or metaphysics, in which a soul lives a succession of forms, including both human and animal. In between each life in human and animal form, your soul rests in the other world. That's the land of the dead. Your soul rests in the land of the dead, or you wait to be reborn. That's if you don't pass the celestial judges. If you pass the celestial judges, you go to Turnanog. That's the land of youth. That's what it means in Irish Gaelic, the land of youth, Turnanog. It's where you get your youth back. You're meant to live till you're an old age, to your old age pensioner. You live until you're 80, 90 to 100, then you die. Then you get your youth back in Turnanog. That's what it's meant to be. But some people's life stories get cut short. They don't live until they're pensioners. Some people commit suicide because they've been suffering so badly, been longing for whatever reason they committed suicide for. It's a longing for a partner who just left them, or maybe it's financial collapse. No idea. Let's talk about the three worlds, since we were talking about them earlier. The upper world, that's where Turnanog is. That's the other world. That's where the gods live. The I-She workers live. And there's technology there. There's technology up in Turnanog. High technology. And it's a land of the dead. It's the celestial courts are there, with the immortal judges, and the waiting rooms, where your soul waits to get reborn. Then there's the underworld, where the keepers of the underworld work. That's I-She shapeshifters. And they're there to punish bad souls for X amount of time. No idea how long you get punished for by the gods if you're an evil person. No idea. And after you leave the underworld, you go to the animal kingdom. You go in the waiting room, you get reborn as an animal. I'd rather be reborn as a human. I'd rather transcend. Fail or not, I'd rather get reborn as a human being. But I want to be an animal. Animals don't transcend. Animals don't truly enjoy themselves. I haven't got the intelligence for it. I've got to be able to learn. Animals can't learn. Most animals can't communicate. I love talking, waking people up, talking to my family and friends and having a good time and a laugh. Love having a laugh with people. Why not? It's what we're here for, to learn and to have a laugh. It's what the gods want us to do. They want us to enjoy ourselves in the mortal realms, as well as in the upper realms, in the upper world. We're here for a reason, and it's up to us to figure out what that reason is. For myself personally, my calling, my own personal calling, is to become a Druid. That's my calling. That's what I have a passion for. My childhood, I thought about becoming a priest, a Catholic priest. I was brought up a Catholic by my mother and father. They were both Catholics, Irish Catholics. I thought about becoming a priest in my early childhood, as I was growing up, but I never went through with it. I'm glad I never. I don't believe in that religion. It's a false religion. I woke up to it. It's made up by the Romans. Jesus was a real man that lived, but his words, to excuse the language, have been bastardised by the Roman establishment. It was the Romans that murdered Jesus Christ for being a revolutionary. That's why he was murdered, crucified on the cross, tortured by the Romans, then tortured to death on the cross. And they tried to blame the Jews. That was wrong. Jesus was Jewish. He tried to save the Jewish people. The aristocrats, the establishment, the lackeys that sold it to the Roman establishment, the cult at the time. And they're still there now. Look at our people, our politicians, our establishment, lackeys to the cult. We're repeating history from 2,000 years ago. If we don't learn from the past, we keep making the mistakes of the past. We've got to wake up. The middle world, that's the mortal realm. That's where life's journey is carried out. And that's where there's suffering. That's where you transcend from. What causes suffering? How do you transcend? Do you transcend without suffering? Yes. Can you transcend if you suffered? Yes. Can you transcend if you're a meat eater? No. Can you transcend if you're not a nice person? No. You have to be a nice person who's a vegetarian. then you can transcend. If you're a nice person, you'll try and minimise suffering in the world, in your family, in your friends, and in your community. If enough people are nice people, you'll have a good community, and everyone's friendly with one another. And there's less suffering in the world. And a lot of people got to turn and look from that society, that community. That's what we have to do. We have to try and transcend to the upper world, to turn our look. The cult won't go there. They think they're going there, or they want to go for a rebirth. You know the requirements. Everybody knows the requirements by now. The cult are Druids. They've always known. But they don't want to go for eternal no. They don't want to meet the gods and work with the gods. They want to be the gods. So they don't want to go to heaven, the other world, turn their look when they die. They will always go for a rebirth. Look at again, another wee sip, and a dry mouth there. I think I'll play a somatic journey now, then talk again after it. I need more notes, I've got a slew of notes here. I haven't talked about the lower world yet. I'll go on about the lower world, then I'll do a somatic journey. The lower world, that's where the animal and plant spirits go to. That's the animal and plant spirit realm. When they die and pass over, plants pass over their life story and animals die, they go to the lower world. And in the lower world, you can receive shamanic lore from the dead animals and plants that are down there. They all have wisdom. Never forget an animal is a soul with intelligence. And they've more than likely lived 1,000 million years. The Earth is 4 billion years old. There have been animals on this planet for I don't know how long. So the chances are we're all old souls, with some new souls added to it recently, as the population booms all over the world. Now I'll play this shamanic journey because I have finished my joint. I've got half a joint there. I'm going to finish it up. Now here's a shamanic journey. 17th of July, 12 o'clock, shamanic journey number 1. I'm going in now. See an animal sitting down, turned into a shape, an order, with an arm stretched out, as if they're smoking or saying come on, but they're waving. They're not smoking, they're waving towards or waving away. And I can see a cat's teeth. Cat's screaming, roaring, mouth opening and closing, roaring. I'm going in a tunnel. I'm coming out at a hole. I've never seen a hole before as I came out a tunnel. Standing still in a tunnel at the edge of it. I think I need to charge the gland. seen anything now. Oh, I seen something there. What was that? Don't know what that was. Right, I'll come out and go back in. Right, that's that way over. See a circle. Now I can see a nice she. There's three shapes, two hexagons and an oval. Hexagons are going to the eyes, with two bright lights in the middle. Just an order. There's a face. Looked like dawn. Priestess of dawn. Sending an image. And nothing now. I think I'll come out and go back in, charge the gland again. See a row of lights and a face, nice she. Looking at me now. Nice she looking right at me. On the 19th, I think it's the 19th, Sunday the 19th, the 18th or the 19th. At what time did I say? 2:16. This is a test run to see if it works. See if the recorder works. I'm going in now. A light, there's a person in it, a hole, trap symbol, there's a square down the bottom. I don't know what that signifies. A box, it's a square, it's not a rectangle, so it's not a grave. We've been seeing graves. You can see a keeper looking at the government, Boris Johnson. He's going to meet the keepers when he dies. The lights right up, he's going to meet the keepers. It's the Prime Minister with a set up. The next evil acts he's involved himself in. Can't see anything now. This is went clear. Black still. I think I need to charge the gland a wee bit, charge the pineal gland. Well, I'll charge the gland and then I go back in. What was that, 1 minute 56? Here it goes again. Trap symbol, schematic graph for the trap. a light in the trap, but the edge of the trap is a light, I don't know what it is. Two lights. One's turned into a face. Look to my left. I think that says keeping everyone in the trap, people to my left. Vision's faded again. This is going to be a short one, it's just a wee tester for us. Might not upload this one. Can't see anything. Charge the grand again. Then I'm going for a long one. Going for a long one this time. This should be the charge, annual grand charge. Trap. A light going into the trap, like a thunder light, that light inside. Turned into a person's head, got my body. See an eye on it. There's a path in the trap, within the trap. There's another light appeared within the path, a person. There's a woman looking to the left. It's turned into a shield. Like the people on the left are to defend our women. Yeah, keeper. This is a long one, I don't know how long it'll take me to see anything, I might not see anything. I'm going to stay in for a wee while. See a hole and a hand pointing to it, finger pointing to it. The visions went totally black, now totally engulfed in black. Light shining, light shining. Yeah, pyramid, I'm entering a pyramid tunnel. That's the upper wall where the gods reside, the spirit wall, the I see. Passing through the tunnel, coming out now at the top of the tunnel, at the top of the pyramid. I can see a mushroom. I think it's a mushroom. I can see two eyes looking at me, that's the gods. Might be the god Carnarvon. The gods want shamanic plants legalised and written all over the world. But possibly the only planet in the universe that is outlawed shamanic plants, entheogenic plants. It's a travesty, a sick travesty.
long tunnel in the corridor, a carbon and a cave. See a shield, that's not a shield, I don't know what that is, a shield emblem or something. That could be directed. Along a tunnel. What's that? I see swimming past, flying past. See something up there, I don't know what that is. That's just out. Yeah, something. More people. The paramount. People will be sent down onto the altars of the gods before we sent to the underworld. They know who they are. They're all black now. They're all black. Lots of lights going down, Arwen's going down. What's the instrument? Down there. I'm blind here and fly. Light allows some folks to let that tunnel now. Oh, look at that. A long tunnel. Look at that. This is amazing. Lots of orders. Let's go up. We are bound for a trap, I think that's a trap, a bear trap. There's Mother, the Mother Goddess. All the people are all in a trap. That big bear. Don't know who that big bear is, there's two of them in this setup. Bloody come out now. Still seeing stuff, I'm staying for a wee bit longer. Been late.
And that was a shamanic journey there. I played a recording I played. Now, in that shamanic journey, we've seen tunnels, pyramid tunnels, and round tunnels. We've also seen mushrooms and a host of other things. The pyramid tunnels and the tunnels are how you travel between the realms. That's how you travel. When you die, when you pass over, your soul goes through a tunnel and goes transcends up to the land of the dead. That's how the IC communicate with us, through the tunnels. The science is yet to be explained by us Earth scientists. I don't know if any alien species can figure it out. No idea how intelligent other aliens could be. God knows there must be aliens out there. And there's more likely been aliens that have visited our planet in the past. It's a star system 4 light years away from us, Alpha Centauri. There's a planet in the habitable zone in Alpha Centauri. Science, NASA has proved that. I forget what they called it. But it was a large planet. I'm sure it was a large planet, they said. In the habitable zone. Pardon me. Now, the tunnels are how you travel. How the IC send messages to us. They come through the tunnels, down to the mortal realm, down to planet Earth, down to our area, our city, our country, our city, and into our pineal gland. Then we see it in shamanic journaling, or we have epiphanies and psilocybin, mushrooms. We also saw mushrooms there. The gods do want mushrooms legalized and ayahuasca legalized. I've been made aware of this by the gods and my spirit guides, all of them. They want ayahuasca, marijuana, psilocybin mushrooms, magic mushrooms legalized, so everyone can communicate with their spirit guides. Why should it just be a select few of awake people that speak to their spirit guides? Everybody needs advice, and who better to give you advice than someone who's really intelligent and full of compassion and empathy? Saints. Your spirit guides are saints. What Christians call saints is what the spirit guides are. They're saints. Dead people that have passed over and made it through the terminal judges, the celestial judges, into terminal. If you take mushrooms, you will have thoughts, you will have visuals. I've yet to close my eyes on mushrooms, so I don't know. It does feed my visions, like marijuana feeds my seer visions. It does feed that. It makes them more pronounced. I haven't closed my eyes on mushrooms yet. I'm too busy watching videos on them, my psychedelic videos. Now, in shamanic journeying, the I see from the upper world will give you mortal beings, that's us, myself and all of you, great advice. Sometimes you may not like the advice they're giving you. My spirit guide showed me my lungs. That means I have to calm down the smoking. I'm finding that hard. I'm addicted to cigarettes. I smoke marijuana every now and then. Cut out the cigarettes and calm down the marijuana. We all have our own addictions. Self-medication is self-medicating. We're all self-medicating in various things. Myself, it's marijuana and tobacco. And I Seer not we advocate. Lord, we snowball. Anyway, back to this. Shamanic journey, suffering, causes and solutions. What causes suffering? Well, we already know that, longing. So how is the solution to longing? Stop longing for things, stop wanting things, that's impossible. You all want stuff, you always want stuff. So you will always suffer. You have to minimise what you long for and accept that you can only have what is within your means to achieve, to get, to purchase, to buy, or to get whatever way you see fit, as long as it's moral. That means no theft, no sneakiness, no backstabbing. Gods. We're aware of the Mother Goddess and the Father God. In previous shamanic journeys I've been saying the Father God is Canalis, it's not, it's Belarus. To the Celts it's Belarus. To the Norse it's Odin. To the Wiccans I'm not sure who it is. To the Wiccans who Mother's consort is with the Wiccans. I need to research it online. I want shamanic journey that one. At this point of shamanic journey is to receive advice on top of your own research. Never rely on your spirit guides to teach you. Teach yourself and your spirit guides will help you out even more. That's what I do. That's what a lot of shamans do, if not all shamans. That's what a lot of people do as well who now take shamanic plants. It's become a really popular pastime in Europe and Americas, taking ayahuasca. talked about Druidism. Now Wicca and Druidism are quite similar. They both share the same festivals, the 8 sacred years, the wheel of the year, the 8 sacred wheels, the 8 cycle wheel of the year. They both share that. And the gods are similar as well. As for the Norse religions, they are true religions. Norse paganism is a religious movement based on the practice and beliefs of pre-Christian Scandinavia. The origins of the Norse religion date back to the Germanic people of the Iron Ages, and its development and continues up to the Christianization of Scandinavia. Once again, same as in the Celtic lands in Britain, France and Ireland, Druidism came back in the West, and in Scandinavia, the old Norse religions are having a resurgence. Paganism is on the rise, and that is amazing. It is really good news for us on this planet if we can wake people up to the true gods, the old gods. I don't care if you're a Norse pagan, a Wiccan pagan, or a Druid pagan, as long as you're a pagan and you're a vegetarian and you believe in helping people out. You're my friend, you're my brother, you're my sister, you're my comrade in arms against the cult. I'm seeking volunteers against the cult for one big protest down in London on the 5th of November 2022. This protest is about depopulate and implant. Why? The media are covering up depopulate and implant because they want it to happen. We have to force them to cover it. And that's what we do in London on the 5th of November. We march from Regent's Park to BBC Broadcasting House and demand an interview. At the BBC send their journalists out to speak to the leaders of the organisation, to interview them. We want an interview on depopulate and implant live on BBC television, national television, on this island in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. This protest is about suffering, the suffering of the British people, the suffering of our children, and the planned extinction of our way of life and of our own people. We are not debauched Morlocks any longer. We are wakening up to the establishment, the lackeys of the cult. The 0.1% of society, the absolute obscenely rich, that do meet in closed rooms, behind closed doors and drawn curtains, and contemplate how to keep their hegemony intact and survive into the future with the ill-gotten gains as they rape and pillage our planet and our people. That's why revolution is needed in the United Kingdom. What sort of establishment have we got? Rapists, torturers, murderers, psychopaths. Who are they? They're not worth it. They're not British. They don't respect the British way of life. Who are these psychopaths? It's the same in France, Germany, Scandinavia, Poland. Who are these people? Who are these politicians to tell us how to lead our lives as they plan our very extinction? No! We are fighting back, and we make the first step in Britain. We wake the whole of Europe up by showing the world's media that 1 million people took to the streets of London to say no to that implant and no to depopulation on this planet, on our island of the Great Britain and Northern Ireland. No implant, no depopulation. Ever. That's what it has to be. Rage, anger. We must channel our anger in a positive way, in a real shamanic way, a positive way for a protest of a lifetime. So if we channel our anger to the right way, we may achieve something wonderful. Just imagine if we woke up the politicians and they started fearing us, the people. What would happen then to the British Island, France, Europe, Poland, America, if the people were in fear, if the government were in fear of the people? Would they depopulate us? Would they steal from us? Would they rape our children, our women? No, and it wouldn't have been covered up by the media either. Look at those politicians doing in that parliament that the media exposed after they died, like Cyril Smith, a paedophile. They covered up all his crimes throughout his life, and after he died, they exposed them. Why did they not expose him when he was still alive and put him in prison? They don't care about rape and paedophilia, the cult. They are rapists and paedophiles. The aristocrats are rapists and paedophiles. The bankers are rapists and paedophiles. There's something wrong with them. They're not normal. There's a darkness and a sickness in them and a psychopathy in them that is far from normal. They've become detached from reality. That's what extreme wealth has done. And power. Extreme wealth and undiluted power has made them believe that they're like the gods, without one thing, being immortal. So they strive to seek immortality through technology, implants. Not just a vision implant, but other implants. They're still researching them and develop more as time goes on. That's 54 minutes. I think I'll call it quits there. I'll leave it in the protest. Revolution has to happen in Britain if there's any hope of survival. It's a cult and their lackey politicians and their top police chiefs have all got one thing in mind: depopulate and implant this island. So we, the people, must wake up to it and move our pawns out of the chessboard on the 5th of November 2022. We put 1 million pawns on the streets of London and march from Regent's Park to the BBC Broadcasting Studio. A 20-minute march for freedom, for our children, for the next generation. Thank you.